Hi guys, I'm here at the Clevertouch stand at ISE 2020. I'm here with Adam. He's going to show us his new screen that he's got available.
Yes, so this is the new UX Pro series. So this basically is a direct replacement to our Pro IR HP. As you can see, the bezel's slightly different. So what we've added here is actually an array microphone. So these little dots above the top, underneath the camera, is a microphone. Rating, we'd say, you know, small to medium-sized meeting rooms. But what that does mean is that you can have a camera on the top, audio in there, great for lesson capture, you know, and small conferencing.
So when you say small to medium, do you go up to about 8 people? Would that be
I'd say
sufficient?
about 8, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Obviously, there's still use to add on an extra camera, additional audio, all that kind of stuff as well.
And most cameras compatible. They will have the drivers to operate with it.
Yes, so the idea will be like this one here, you know, Logitech, loads of them out there, will be USB into the PC module, and that's the best way we would recommend it for video conferencing.
Rather than going to the Android
Yeah, the
module.
Android, we wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, I think it's...
Which makes sense, because I mean, the Windows side, I mean, most platforms are compatible on that side.
Yeah, so it works really, really well. What's running at the moment is the digital signage element of the screen, the Clever Message, which I know was on there previously, which I'll kind of come into in a minute. But yeah, so the array microphone on the top, you notice at the bottom here, it's slightly deeper, so it goes slightly lower. That's because before we had a pen tray, NFC pen tray. That now doesn't exist because it's all inbuilt into the panel.
Because that used to stick out this way.
Yeah, so it's all inbuilt now. So we've added additional audio, so it's now 2 times 45 watt and a sub. So very nice audio, very nice audio. Proximity sensor. So that could be preset, so when you walk into the room it triggers and it turns it on. Obviously then booting signage, that kind of thing.
That's very nice.
The other area is the connections. So obviously this area in the Pro firmware, we can obviously amend these names, which is great for, you know, conferencing, walk up, press one button. But all the inputs here, you can see we've got additional HDMI, we've got additional DisplayPort, there is still VGA, but these two, this is the portable ones, is USB-C. So most new laptops or Chromebook, Surface tablets, they use a USB-C, even my phone now. What's unique about this one though, which as far as I'm aware, I can't see anyone else doing this, is one that will also charge as well on one of the inputs. So if you did have a Surface Pro, plug in one cable, it charges, visual, touch, everything via one cable.
That's very good.
Okay. The other element of the USB-C is also the CleverShare. So the CleverShare has now been upgraded to CleverShare 3, and it uses a USB-C type connection.
Do you still have an adapter to go back to the USB-A format?
It doesn't. At the moment, it's only USB-C.
Okay. Which makes sense because most computers are coming out with
But
USB-C.
what it does mean is that the way the technology works is now superb, and the fact that it doesn't require any software. So you literally plug it in, doesn't install anything, you press the button and you're mirroring.
And the latency on that, is it basically instant?
Yeah, pretty good, yeah.
Can you, again, like in the old days, actually control the computer back to it?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so full touch support, everything, but the main thing is the version 2's kind of hijacked your laptop and bridged it to a hotspot on the screen, like a Wi-Fi. This doesn't do that. Okay. So no network change, so I could be a guest coming in, you could give me that, I plug it in, doesn't change my network, I can be on guest Wi-Fi, and you're away, okay?
Fantastic.
So that's the kind of, you know, hardware differences. It still uses a high precision infrared.
Still toughened glass, the same old
Still
thing.
toughened glass, 4K, it's there, you know, so it's really, really cool. What we do have is, I don't know how much you've seen on the firmware where it's changed, but I know recently, we, you know, probably about a year ago now, we added the end meeting button, which is really important. So that could be great for security, press the button, and we can actually pre-program to say, or wipe browser history, movies, cloud accounts, whatever it might be, straight from the screen. So it just wipes it. The whiteboard function, we do have a new thin stylus. Unfortunately, all the ones on our stand today have gone walkies, but yeah, they are.
And they're still behind. They're basically.
Well, actually, they will go to the front here, and they're magnetic.
Okay.
We'll send you some images, but they've been called the super cool stylus. That's what they're called because they're super cool, but they're literally very thin, a bit more pen-like. Really
and still the same thing. If you on the one side, it can be one color. If you turn it around, it will be a different color on the back. Yeah.
One thing we have added though is a brief. It's kind of like a type of palm rejection. Okay, so when you select this section here, what it does is the touchscreens knows that that's a hand, and this is obviously something else. So it basically blocks out a certain area. So when you are doing that toggle on, toggle off, you can lean and right. Okay, so and that's all without an active stylus. So it's quite cool.
And this is still running on the Android side of the screen.
Everything at the moment is all in the tablet mode.
Yes.
You know, no, just very brief kind of concept. I won't, obviously I know today's not a full demo, but it's all about this kind of walk up and use scenario. So how we would see it is the digital signage element of the screen, the Sadeo Live portal. This is running a video at the moment, but this could be any content. So that could have the logo of the customer up there. You could have a run of JPEG images, videos. It could have an element of training, which we get a lot. It might be, oh, how do I know it's a touchscreen when it's in a big business? But this could say, press here to begin, press that. And then that could be automatically booting on in the morning, or you could have it at proximity. It's a real nice way of capturing, the user, and then they start. Then it's just got that 3-button solution, which is super easy. Still got the wireless Clevershare software. I don't know if you're aware that there's a later update on this where it can actually work over 2 different subnets now, which is quite important.
Nice.
Okay, so if you've got a Wi-Fi network, a user, and they have a corporate and a guest, as long as it's on the same network, so if it's 2 different subnets, this code changes slightly longer when you change the mode, and then they can still mirror it as well.
So when you say subnets, are you referring to separate VLANs or to subnets?
The 2 subnets, yeah. So it'll be I think it's hard to guarantee every project that would work, but we've got a network document that we can send over, and then we can help test it.
So our guys will test that to see exactly what can be done.
But I think there'll be somewhere it will help a lot.
Okay.
But then you still got obviously iPad, Android, Chrome, all of these devices.
But again, sharing anything on here to your mobile device is only when it's in the Android mode, not in Windows mode.
Yeah,
correct.
Okay. Yeah. So how I would always describe it is, and the other part which I'll briefly mention is obviously you've got the MDM. So this is here to control the tablet mode. So if you had a deployment of 20 of these in meeting rooms, you can actually remote in, physically control it, but also it's about locking it down. So then from a user point of view, when they come into here, at the moment this looks a bit busy. If this was my meeting room and I was in IT, these would have been gone. I would have got rid of settings. So it's nice locked down. So then you're in the process to say, right, I walk in, what do I want to do? On a mirror, okay? On a whiteboard, you've got your signage. What's the next step, which we've missed? It's UC, okay? So now for conferencing, that's where the Windows PC option comes in. So you notice there we've renamed it Launcher, and I'll describe why in a minute. There's a new software that we're launching, funnily enough, with this company called DisplayNote. Which is a partner of ours. But just as a brief update on the PC side, so where before the PCs were slotted in and they were about this big, they're our own design, they're now an OPS standard. Okay?
Which is huge.
Yeah,
that's
so
bring the
it comes in the
cost
side
down
here, it's got HDMI, USB, all of the kind of stuff you'd do, but it has brought the cost down slightly on the i7. So yeah. Nice.
And again, you can choose between the i7 and i5 to go into that slot. Okay.
Yeah, an i5 is now 8 gig RAM where it was 4 gig before, so it's had a bit of a flavour change. But it is an OPS, so it's a standard as well. So at this point, a big thing in the kind of pro market is all about UC. What are you using? Zoom or Teams or WebEx or GoToMeeting? Often what we've done is we always look at it as a quite agnostic approach. Whatever you use, you can use. What you can do is put this into a Windows 10 tablet mode and you can just launch it. That's good for some, but then if you really wanted someone to streamline and have that one-touch experience, that's where Launcher comes in. Okay, so it's a software license that you can get via us. So at the moment this is on a PC, so it could be set in a kiosk mode. So at the moment I can exit out, but as a business I'd set it so you can't exit it out. So you're completely locked down to this in Windows. You then whitelist apps. So that could be Microsoft Teams, Zooms, whatever. And also PowerPoint, so people can't go outside of that as well. This then links into your room diary. So what that means is we might have set up a particular Exchange account for this particular meeting room, Clevertouch Room 1 at. That then is linked into here. So I might be the CEO, I come into my meeting, what am I going to do? Well, just click on it. As soon as you click on it, I can then launch the meeting with one button, okay? This area here is excellent. This is very unique. I like this. So you can get an app on your phone called Launcher. That will then have your credentials in it. So Microsoft Teams login, let's say, or Skype or Zoom. You then scan the QR code and via near-field Bluetooth, it will take those credentials and then it will sign you in. So at that point, you could have your access to your OneDrive accounts and also access to your meetings.
That's brilliant.
And then when you walk away, it's gone.
That's really a lot easier than it used to be.
Clear it.
And then it will sign you out.
Yeah.
So no one's got access
Nobody's
to
got access to your credentials.
That's brilliant.
People can choose to use the room account, let's say, or their own personal account if they're a guest. As soon as they walk away, it's all logged out. So it's completely simple, but it's really streamlined.
And when will this be available?
It's available now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's available now. And that's obviously when you, as an integrator yourselves, you choose the camera. The audio mic might be good enough, might not be, so you can add extra. But apart from that, everything else is bundled in. You know, inbuilt signage, inbuilt wireless sharing. You know, not really having a need to have too many other wires plugged into it. You know, it's just a nice, tidy solution.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
You can still install these units flat on those stands.
Yeah,
that's also
definitely.
a very important thing for some clients, you know.
Yeah, we can do all of that. But yeah, I think that's basically it, to be honest. So,
fantastic.
You know, a nice uplift in hardware, additional software.
And a new PC slot, I mean, that's going to make a huge difference. It's going to bring the cost really down dramatically. So really awesome, man. Guys, we're not sure when it's going to be available, but we're probably looking at April, a bit later this year. We'll keep you up to date and we'll do an unboxing of the new screen, you know, once it arrives in South Africa. Show you guys what it can do.
Excellent.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
No worries. Cheers, guys.